Marquette and Kentucky meeting for the 12th time, this time in the second round of the Southeast region at St. Petersburg from the Thunderdome. Right now for the starting lineup introductions, here's the public address announcer, Rick Odioso.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the St. Petersburg Thunderdome for today's NCAA Men's Southeast Regional, hosted by the University of South Florida. This is a second-round game between the Marquette Warriors and the Kentucky Wildcats. Let's meet the starting lineups. For Marquette, at forward, a 6'6" sophomore from Queens, New York, number 13, Ronnie Eford. For Kentucky, at forward, a 6'7" sophomore from Jersey City, New Jersey, number 12, Roderick Rhodes. For Marquette, at forward, a 6'8" senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 35, Damon Key. For Kentucky, at forward, a 6'9" sophomore from Fairmont, West Virginia, number 32, Jared Prickett. For Marquette, at center, a 7'1" senior from Racine, Wisconsin, number 34, Jim McElvain. For Kentucky, at center, a 6'9" junior from New York, New York, number 10, Andre Riddick. For Marquette, at guard, a 6'3" senior from Janesville, Wisconsin, number 12, Rob Lochterman. For Kentucky, at guard, a 5'9" senior from Madisonville, Kentucky, number 5, Travis Ford. For Marquette, at guard, a 5'11" junior from Cleveland, Ohio, number 10, Tony Miller. For Kentucky, at guard, a 6'1" sophomore from Brownsville, Tennessee, number 00, Tony Delk. And introducing the head coaches for Marquette, Kevin O'Neill, and for Kentucky, Rick Pitino.
The officials for this afternoon's game, Jim Burr, Phil Bova, and Daryl Ogden. Thunderdome constructed in 1990, a crowd of 24,700 on hand in Friday night's second session in the first round. They have reconfigured this arena today and added 1,000 more seats, so we might surpass 26,000 today.
This is a beautiful facility, and we've been treated very well here. This is the first time they've had an event of this magnitude, and they're really doing a nice job.
Last meeting was in the 75 NCAA tournament. Kentucky won that one 76-54. Guy by the name of McGuire was the coach at Marquette. I don't know what happened to him.
Well, Kevin O'Neill knows what happened to him. He told us yesterday that Al comes in and eats their food and makes long-distance phone calls, and so they still see a lot of Al at Marquette.
Matter of fact, Kevin O'Neill also said that last week Al McGuire came by and asked Kevin O'Neill if he could borrow his car keys. Kevin said sure, and without asking why, gave him the car keys. The next thing you know, McGuire disappeared in his car. Said, oh, by the way, I locked my keys in my own car.
And when he came back, he said, boy, those cellular phones are sure a lot of fun.
Travis Ford for Kentucky. This is Roderick Rhodes. Immediately takes it to the basket. Rebound, Damon Key.
Rhodes is very good at getting to the basket, Vernon. It looks like they're going to challenge McElvain in there.
Here's Tony Miller, number 10. Ronnie Eford looks inside for McElvain. He turns around and misses again. He was 4 for 14 from the field in the first round game. Had a tough shooting day.
Man-to-man defense for the Warriors. It was a zone for Kentucky.
Jared Prickett guarded by Damon Key right now.
Great block out by Key on the inside.
Want to remind our viewers expecting Boston College versus North Carolina. They'll be leaving us in a few minutes to see another game of special interest in their local areas. From the outside, Rob Lochterman, that is just inside the three-point arc.
That was great ball movement by Marquette, and Lagerman is a big-time shooter for Marquette, one of those 3 seniors that has helped key the Warriors' turnaround.
Riddick short with a shot. Ronnie Eifert comes down with it for Marquette. Ronnie Eifert had a big game in game 1. Here's Miller.
Since Kentucky hasn't scored, they haven't had an opportunity to set their pressure, so Miller hasn't had to defend against that pressure, hanging on to the ball.
Inside to Lochterman. Quick ball movement over to Tony Miller for 3. No.
Marquette very conscious of getting back on defense.
They kick it back out to Ford. Tony Delp. He's guarded by Lochterman. Goes over him with a shot. Battle for the rebound. Riddick is fouled by McIlvaine.
Bern, Kentucky really attacking inside. It looks like they want to go right after Key and McIlvaine on the inside. McIlvaine in his career has been susceptible to foul problems.
Picks up a quick 1. Here's Riddick. Travis Ford with a 3-pointer.
Tony Miller got caught on the screen, and McIlvaine was stuck defending Travis Ford. He didn't want to get out too far, and Ford buried it. Get up there!
They work the baseline. Damon Key. Travis Ford, good ball. He got away with that there. Did he ever? Underneath Riddick, they test the interior again. The jump hook is good.
Riddick had a great game against Tennessee State. The Kentucky coaches pumped him up by saying, look, you're going to go against Carlos Rogers, have people talk about you, and now he's going against another tough big guy in McIlvaine.
From the corner, Damon Key. That's for 2 as well.
Significantly early in the game, the inside team, Marquette, has been limited to the perimeter, and the perimeter team, Kentucky, has been totally inside except for that 3 by Travis Ford.
Jeff Brasso. Here's Rhodes. McIlvaine can't hold on to it. Now he comes down with the rebound after the missed shot. Miller hurries it up. Lochterman spots up for the 3. Back to Miller for a 3-point effort. And again, it won't go.
McIlvaine really slow getting up and down the court. He's got to get himself down inside so Marquette can get inside that Kentucky zone.
That'll be a goaltending call on McIlvaine.
McIlvaine leads the nation in blocked shots. He's a very big presence at 7'1" inside, but that ball was on its way down after it hit the rim, and so McIlvaine gets called for goaltending. And again, Kentucky goes right inside, and now they get an opportunity to set the pressure.
There's the tip. Jared Prickett almost got it for Kentucky. Miller. McIlvaine kicks it back to Lochterman.
I wonder how McIlvaine's confidence is going to be affected in there. He had a poor shooting night on Friday and has missed his first shot inside today.
5 on the shot clock. Miller hits one, and he had Rod Rhodes in his face.
Miller is a tough, tough kid. I think Riddick intercepted that pass. Rhodes was trying to throw it to Ford.
Here's Rhodes with a jump step.
And that's going to be McIlvaine's second personal foul. Kentucky's relentless attack on the inside, I think, has accomplished one of the purposes that Rick Pitino wished to accomplish in McIlvaine picking up his second foul. We haven't played 5 minutes in this basketball game yet.
So the 7'1" McIlvaine goes out, and Amal McCaskill comes on. Now McCaskill at 6'9" had a very effective game in the opener.
Had 12 points, had 10 rebounds, played very, very well. They will need another performance like that from him today. And Riddick, an adventure in free throw shooting, makes the first one.
He's only hitting 38% for the season. We saw him hit 13 in a row in practice the other day, and he gets 2 in a row here when the game counts. No surprise to see Kentucky in the NCAA tournament. They've done this little trick 34 previous times. They've won 5 national titles, 61 wins. Rick Pitino in his 5th year now as the head coach with the Wildcats. This is the first of 2 games. Duke and Michigan State next.
Running out of time, Vern. They barely got that ball over half court.
Damon Key, short. McCaskill with the rebound, can't hang on.
Can't dribble the basketball inside as a big guy. Marquette's going to get a break and get the ball back, but McCaskill will be told not to do that by Kevin O'Neill.
Travis Ford limping ever so slightly when he came back after chasing the ball down. Doesn't appear to show any signs of a problem now. He winced a little bit. Under 15 minutes to go, first half. Lochterman and Ronnie Eford. Pass back to Lochterman.
Very active zone by Kentucky. They were worried about the inside game for Marquette, and thus far, Vern, they have taken the inside game away.
There's the entry pass to McCaskill. And Jared Prickett gets called for the foul, number 32. That's his first.
That's good work. They ran the clock down, never really panicked, but the Warriors eventually get it inside to McCaskill, who's just a little bit bigger than Prickett inside, and used that advantage to get the shot.
Amal McCaskill is a sophomore. Misfires on the first. Kevin O'Neill responsible for this turnaround. He said the key for the Marquette program came in the 91-92 season. Late in the year, they won a game at home against Memphis State, beat DePaul on the road, and had a sense that things were going to go their way. They have since.
Look at Miller work against Travis Ford. That's great offense and great defense, and there's Eford with the steal.
Ronnie Eford, number 13. McCaskill. Good adjustment by the 6'9 sophomore.
What a catch.
We're tied at 9. 14 minutes to go, first half. Back it goes to Rhodes. That shot is short. And Miller had Eford for a second way down court. Passed on him underneath. McCaskill, having made the great catch, can't hang on this time.
Made a great one, Vern, and then couldn't handle an easy one.
9-9. Rod Rhodes. McCaskill rebound.
And Vern, I want to tell you what, that Ronnie Eford, Rod Rhodes matchup, when Kentucky's got the basketball and they're matched up one-on-one, there's Prickett going to get the foul coming over the back of Key. But that defensive matchup is every bit as entertaining as any defensive matchup you'll ever see. Those guys really going at one another, and Rick Pitino knows that Rod Rhodes has to get some offense for his team to be successful.
Jeff Brasso and Jamal Martinez come in now for Kentucky. Rhodes is out, and Riddick is out. Anthony Pieper comes in for Rob Lochterman for Marquette. He wears number 3. McCaskill.
Oh, what a pass!
My goodness. McCaskill with the pass. Marquette with the lead. Travis Ford back to Delk. And I think they called this on Ronnie Eford.
Now, Mal McCaskill gives you every impression that he has no idea what he's doing with that basketball, but he did a great job finding Key inside and getting that big fellow, the leading scorer for the Warriors, off the mark.
Foul was on Ronnie Eford. That's his first and the team's third. Walter McCarty has come on for Kentucky now, number 40. Here's Delk from 3. Rebound Miller of Marquette. Damon Key for 3.
And there's McCaskill.
This is the kid who averaged 1.5 minutes per game
As a senior in high school.
Westchester, Illinois.
Talk about finding a diamond in the rough. Why would you sign a guy who averaged only a minute and a half as a senior in high school?
They saw him at a workout when they were recruiting a teammate of his. And now McCaskill's going to get called for the foul. He's getting caught up in the moment and tried to do a little too much.
He has such herky-jerky body motions, and for a guy at 6'9" or 6'10", it looks like he's out of control, but I don't think he is. He's made a very nice pass before. You can see his season averages, but he had 12 points and 10 rebounds in the opening round win against Southwestern Louisiana.
Martinez. McCarty chases down the loose ball. Nice pump fake. Too strong with a shot. Damon Key. 13-9 Marquette.
Nice defense by McCaskill.
Pieper has it now. He and Lochterman in the backcourt as Tony Miller's going to get a rest.
How aggressively McCaskill seeks the basketball inside.
Like that. Had a couple of problems with the hands then. Ball on the line. It'll be Kentucky's. 11:44 to go first half. And time has been called.
Jim Nance, Billy Packer, Clark Kellogg back in New York. Let's take a look around at the other action right now taking place. First, Tulsa and Oklahoma State. Just inside 10 minutes to go first half. And Oklahoma State at the line, leading by 1.
Big Country has been involved. He's got 9 points in the early going, and obviously we talked about it at the top. One of the keys for Oklahoma State is Big Country putting points on the board.
Well, there he is. They go to a break at Oklahoma City with the Cowboys up by 2. Now let's check in Boston College in North Carolina. BC, Billy Packer, has a 3-point lead about 5 minutes into this game at Landover.
Well, they've had no tendency whatsoever to worry about going inside on North Carolina so far with a 3-point lead. It's been Bill Curley on the inside doing a good job holding his own with Eric Montross.
Winner of this game will play Indiana in the Sweet 16. And a rebound for the Eagles. Let's go back now. Marquette and Kentucky. We return you now to the Southeast. And here's Vernon Dan.
15-9, Marquette leading Kentucky. Kentucky 3 of 15 shooting the ball, and Jamal Martinez will go to the free throw line.
Vern, the story of this game thus far has been Kentucky's offensive attack, which has been to get the ball inside, and they have not been successful. Even though Jim McElvain of Marquette picked up 2 personal fouls early, McCaskill has come off the bench and has done a dynamite job on the interior. And Kentucky just can't get the ball to go in the basket, and when they can't score, they can't set their defensive pressure.
Martinez, an 80% free throw shooter. Watch, I bet they do a backflip.
Who, Martinez? Yeah. I'd like to see that.
McCaskill with a rebound.
We have some colorful characters in this game, but most of them are wearing blue shirts.
Lochterman and Miller, McCaskill, Pieper, and Damon Key for Marquette. McElvain is on the bench with those 2 fouls. Here's Damon Key. Got it.
He did a great job getting his body close to Martinez and eliminating any possibility for the blocked shot.
Damon Key already with 8 points. Nice pass from Delk underneath. Pieper on the line when he makes the intercept. Andre Riddick coming back in now, replacing Walter McCarty for the Wildcats.
As you take a look at Riddick, he had a big game, scoring 22 points on Friday night, and he just hasn't been able to get going against the tough interior defense of Marquette.
Faisal Abraham, a freshman from Hampton, Virginia, gives Damon Key a rest. Air ball. Roderick Rhodes has it blocked by Abraham. Marquette leading by 7.
That interior defense we talked about, Vern.
McCaskill calling for the ball. Lochterman. No call. Pieper way outside. Nailed it.
Young man came in as a very highly touted shooter.
Anthony Pieper for 3. The lead is 10.
Marquette's defense has been outstanding.
Underneath to Martinez, over Abraham for two.
Now, Vern, that they've scored, they have the time to set their pressure.
McCaskill gets it, looks back for Miller. Well, that was a little shaky, but they got it down. Corning score, Faisal Abraham. 22-12, excuse me, Dan.
When you're a pressing team, Vern, and you can't create turnovers, you're going to have a problem.
And Marquette has turned it over only twice so far. McCaskill with a big rebound. He's got 6. Logterman, timeout, Kentucky. Kentucky 4th in the nation in three-point field goals made per game. They've only tried 5, Dan, so far.
The Marquette defense has been very effective on the perimeter. The difference between today and yesterday for Kentucky is the Marquette defense on the interior has been absolutely outstanding.
Except this time, Martinez sneaks through.
Kentucky continues to punch the ball inside, and if you're a coach and you call a timeout, that's the kind of a play you want to get out of the timeout.
There's the pressure defense, but Miller saves it, and then McCaskill, look at this. We want to remind our viewers expecting Arizona against Virginia that they'll be leaving us in a few minutes to see another game of special interest in their local areas. Last foul was on Riddick, his first and the team's 3rd. 5-second violation.
The Kentucky defense very nearly created a turnover after the basket, and now they create a turnover on the inbounds pass. Kevin O'Neal knows that a 13-point lead, which is what he had at that timeout, now an 11-point lead, is not a big enough lead against Kentucky, who came back from 31 down in the second half against LSU during the regular season.
Yeah, this is only a hiccup for the Wildcats. No problem.
And that's going to be a foul against Eford on the inside. Rod Rhodes now decides to try the interior as opposed to trying to get by Eford on the perimeter, and that's Eford's 2nd personal foul.
6th team foul against Marquette. Martinez travels.
Martinez trying to demonstrate that his pivot foot never moved, but Jim Burr will not be deterred from his call.
Martinez forgot which was his pivot foot. Just a momentary lapse.
It's one of those 2 big white things down there.
7:50 to go first half. McCaskill, Delk, loose ball, Kentucky. Delk created the turnover. Epps is in the lineup for Kentucky. Underneath they go to Riddick. Jump hook, got it.
Kentucky has exploded since that timeout.
Problems getting the ball in. McCaskill does control it. Needs some help. Just across the timeline. Threw it away. Wonder if Kevin O'Neal might call timeout. Not yet.
Now, Kevin O'Neal realizes that when his team is playing against a team that can pressure like Kentucky, you're going to have some stretches like this where Kentucky's defense is going to create turnovers. What you have to do is keep the stretches to a minimum and then rely on your defense to stop Kentucky.
Too strong with a shot. Riddick with the putback, no. Blocked by McCaskill. Chased down by Miller. What a defensive play by McCaskill, and a foul on Roderick Rhodes.
McCaskill has been a huge factor in the first half. Kentucky, with a number of opportunities close to the basket, they continue to struggle. Rhodes is going to get the ball, puts it up to the basket. Just a tremendous block by McCaskill. That was like their 4th opportunity on that possession, and Miller heads up court. McCaskill going to get a rest. McIlvaine with the 2 personal fouls comes back in.
6:42 remaining in the first half of play.
Kentucky to the man-to-man.
Damon Key also back in the lineup with McIlvaine. Here's Lochterman and Ronnie Eford. Jump shot, good. Over Jeff Brasso.
Eford can take Brasso in the man-to-man. Brasso not quick enough to guard Eford on the perimeter.
Can't hit the 3. Marquette's Miller had underneath the Damon Key. Quick move left and back to the right. Wonderful fake.
They've got to get some help coming down from the top side.
10 points for Damon Key. It's a 29-16 ball game.
Mismatch inside. Lagerman trying to guard Martinez.
McIlvaine has to be careful with those 2 fouls, and instead Riddick commits the personal.
That's not good recognition by Kentucky and by Riddick specifically. Martinez was down inside, and Lagerman knew he was in deep trouble. A 6-7-inch height advantage just thrown away as Riddick takes the ball to the basket against the 7-foot guy.
Walter McCarty back in the lineup, and Jamel Martinez gets a rest. Damon Key comes back to help out. Now Tony Miller beats the pressure. Takes it all the way, and he'll shoot free throws.
One of the things we thought would be a key to this game is Tony Miller's ability to beat the press. And when he's been able to handle the ball against the press, he's been able to beat it easily. That time Kentucky gets back pretty well, but I think they expected him to pass the ball. What a job by Miller to get the ball to the basket.
Not a terrific shooter, and that comes at the free throw line as well as from the field. He's hitting only 53%. Now here's Brasso out. Rhodes and Travis Ford are back in. And Tony Miller, one-time high school football teammate of Desmond Howard at Cleveland St. Joe's High School. Kevin O'Neill, who recruited Tony Miller and said of Tony Miller, he saved my job. They didn't have a point guard. Gets 1 of 2.
And the other guy is very popular with is Rob Lagerman, who had to try to play point guard for his first year there and committed a lot of turnovers.
Women's NCAA tournament, UConn leading Auburn at the half. North Carolina over Old Dominion. Purdue, a #1 seed, along with their men's team. And that basket is good by Tony Delp, his first basket of the ball game. Folks at Purdue were really happy last week when both the men's and women's teams were seeded #1 in the respective NCAA tournaments. 5:05 remaining. Here's Eford, no. And McCarty comes down with it for Kentucky. 30-18, excuse me.
Not a good shot by Eford. You don't want to get into a run up and down game with Kentucky. That's a great block out by Key.
Miller. Rod Rhodes picks up the foul. That's his second, and it's the 7th team foul.
One of the things that Rick Pitino's defense would like to do is to keep the ball out of the hands of Miller. Miller is such an important player in this whole press breaking scheme that he takes the ball out of bounds. Once he throws the ball in bounds, Kentucky has been trying to keep him from getting the ball back. When he gets the ball back, he's been dribbling right through the press.
Chris Harrison comes into the ball game now for the Wildcats, #3. Tony Miller gets the first of the free throws. Lead is 14.
Kevin O'Neill just pulled Ronnie Eford aside and told him that he didn't want him taking that kind of shot on the fast break.
Here's Harrison.
Watch the defensive work by Miller, one-on-one against Travis Ford. Fights through the screens, defends the ball.
10 on the shot clock. Back to Travis Ford. Rebound, Pieper.
Miller was right in Ford's face as he shot that ball.
They look underneath the Damon Key, who's already in double figures. Back to Pieper. Shot's not there because Harrison's in his face. Miller looks inside the key. Double team. Ball is saved. Miller spots up and takes the jumper. No. .345 to go first half. Riddick. Oh, nice tip.
That was McCarty, I think, that got that tip. But again, great defense by McCaskill on the inside.
Miller, McCaskill. Back to McCaskill. Fouled by Travis Ford.
Excellent foul by Travis Ford. McCaskill's going to have to go to the line to make the two. But the key again to that whole press-breaking scenario was Miller's ability to get the ball back. Miller throws the ball in bounds. It comes back to him, and when he has the ball, he's either been making the great pass or dribbling through the pressure. Kevin O'Neill can't be any happier with the way Anthony Miller has played, or Tony Miller, excuse me, has played in the first half. McCaskill, a 66% free throw shooter on the year.
One of two. Marquette has the lead of 13. 3:25 remaining first half. Kentucky having a tough afternoon from the field so far, 28%. And Marquette on a 26-11 run.
Kentucky has been getting tough shots, and Marquette leads the nation in field goal percentage defense.
Harrison off the mark. Roderick Rhodes in a battle with Rob Logterman.
Your defense doesn't end, Vern, until you have the basketball, and so part of playing defense is blocking out on rebounds, and Logterman did a tremendous job blocking out Rod Rhodes, forcing him to collect his third personal foul.
McCarty, Brasso, Riddick, Harrison, and Ford for Kentucky now. BC continues to lead North Carolina by 4. And Arizona with an early lead over Virginia. Now Rob Logterman, Janesville, Wisconsin.
Tony Miller's coming back in the basketball game. He sat out for all of what, 13 seconds on the clock? Kevin O'Neill can't have him out of the game. And Eford with 2 personal fouls. He may have seen his last action in the first half.
Ford kicks it back to Harrison. That three-pointer rims out. Riddick puts it up and in. Andre Riddick has 8 points. The lead again at 13. And McCaskill, who's played much of the first half for Jim McElvain. Here's Miller. They kick it over to Damon Key. Entry pass to McCaskill, who muscles his way for 2 more. Man, has he played well. And did they ever need it?
With McElvain on the bench in foul trouble. Kentucky's getting no open shots. Everything is well defended. There's a push by McCaskill. He gets called for sticking his knee into the backside of Riddick. That's 2 fouls now on McCaskill.
17th.
You may have heard the officials say you can't put your knee in his butt. Good point.
.227 remaining in the first half of play. It was an 18-3 Marquette run midway through the first half that propelled them to a 13-point lead. There's Tony Miller. Pieper saves it. They look for McCaskill. Miller back up. Tony Miller has been a spark plug for Marquette in this first half. Damon Key wants the ball. McElvain on the bench with 2 fouls. McCaskill, number 00, has played superbly. Can't get that one.
Somebody touched it while it was on the rim.
Jim Burr, the official, makes the call for basket interference. It may have been McCarty, and that may be what Rick Pitino is saying to Walter.
If that ball is on the rim, the defense can't touch the ball or the rim or the net. And right there's the net. That's a great shot, but that's what happened. The ball was on the rim. McCarty hit the net. That's a great call.
Bounce pass, Riddick. Turns around. Blocked by McCaskill. Amal McCaskill has come up huge in this first half.
It's not a good play by Riddick to take the ball at him like that. You got to get the ball inside, get it outside to get some opening.
Anthony Pieper finds Lochterman, number 12.
Kentucky has gone back to the zone on the last couple of possessions. McCaskill wearing him out on the inside.
Lochterman for 3. Riddick with good position comes down with the rebound. A 17-point Marquette lead. As Dan said, Marquette defensively leading the country in field goal defense. They yield only 30. Oh, good pass. Brasso gets the basket. They yield only 36% from the field. It's less than that in the first half here today.
They break the press easily once again, and that's been the key to the first half. Kentucky just has not been able to create turnovers and easy baskets off their pressure.
Pieper finds Lochterman again, and Damon Key takes the jumper baseline. Nope. Brasso for Kentucky. Shot clock is off. 25 seconds remaining. Kentucky is 1 for 10 from three-point range. And they're down by 15 points.
And the Marquette coaching staff looking for one more defensive stand to close out the first half.
Travis Ford with the ball. Brasso guarded by Pieper. Didn't want that shot. How about the Marquette defense?
The Marquette defense superb. That was terrible offense on that particular possession. What a first half.
I wanted to give you a chance to make that point.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the second round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Cadillac, Intel, and by the American Express card.
Back at the Thunderdome in St. Petersburg with Marquette leading 39-24. The Wildcats, who, as Dan said, came from 31 down in the second half at LSU earlier this season, find themselves in dire straits right now. Meanwhile, already on the court, Amal McCaskill, who came on for Jim McIlvaine early in the first half and played really well.
This is a young man who played extremely well on Friday. He has come out in the first half and done a great job today. Not only is scoring and rebounding, but he has been a presence inside on the defense. You can see him with the block shot right there. And he has been aggressive on the offensive end of the court. The dribble, the quick move to the basket before the help can get there. Kevin O'Neill says that McCaskill is a guy who can really help them in the future, but he's helping them right now, Vern.
He's helping them, and Kentucky has played into their hands, have they not?
Kentucky is a team that has to be able to create some turnovers with their defensive pressure or make the three-point shots, and they've done neither one in the first half.
How do they go about doing that in this half?
I think the most important thing for Kentucky to do is to try to keep the ball out of the hands of Tony Miller when you're pressing. Miller's taken the ball out of bounds for Marquette, and he throws the ball inbounds, but then he has been able to get it back. And once he gets it back, he gets the ball down the court. And this is the kind of thing that's been happening for Marquette. They're getting a good balance inside and outside, and it's Miller who has created the opportunities for Marquette. And it is the Marquette defense that has really limited Kentucky.
There's Tony Miller, a 5'11", 190-pound junior from Cleveland St. Joseph's High School, who was more of a football player in high school than basketball.
He has done a wonderful job, and not just on the offensive end. He has been right in the face of Travis Ford the entire basketball game, and that has helped to disrupt the Kentucky offense.
Here's Miller with the ball, guarded by Ford right now. Lochterman, Eford, Damon Key, and McIlvaine complete the 5 on the floor for Marquette. It's Delk and Ford. Brasso opens the second half along with Jared Prickett and Andre Riddick. Rod Rhodes, who was a non-factor in the first half, is on the bench.
Kentucky's zone very effective to start the second half. Lagerman can pick that ball up. That was a mistake. He dropped it. He can always pick it up. Marquette gets a break as Kentucky turns it over. Lagerman lost the ball. Now, he couldn't dribble it, but he could have picked it up, and Marquette gets a break because Kentucky throws it away.
Miller will inbound.
Here's the situation that we talked about. Miller inbounding the basketball, and what Marquette has looked to do is to get it back to Miller, although Eford's going to take it himself.
Finds McIlvaine, Lagerman for three. Nope. And Prickett gets the rebound. (39-24), Andre Riddick. Ball tipped out. Ronnie Eford for Marquette. Kentucky's woes continue from the field. Eford for three.
I don't understand why you would continue to attack inside when they're just not getting anything in there. I think Riddick needs to feel the pressure and pass the ball out to the perimeter.
Delp counters for three. Travis Ford.
Kentucky trying to deny the inbounds pass, and Marquette has done a real good job against the pressure so far. Rick Pitino trying to get more intensity in that pressure.
Now here's Eford. Brasso guards him. That advantage defensively, or rather, would go to Eford. Lagerman. Ronnie Eford has the ball, blocked by Andre Riddick. And then a good hustling play by Travis Ford for Kentucky. 42-27, a 15-point Marquette lead. Brasso for three will help save that margin.
That's why you cannot feel comfortable when you've got a lead against Kentucky. Now Brasso's going to pick up the foul because they're eventually going to get that three-point offense in high gear. They've hit 2 threes early in the second half.
That was after a 1 for 10 three-point effort early in the first half. Here's the inbound pass to McIlvaine, taken away by Brasso.
And it's obvious that they've picked up the defensive intensity. They talked about that at halftime. And Kentucky doing a great job making it difficult for Marquette to get the basketball inbound.
Lead is 12. They've got the taller Prickett on the smaller Miller at the inbound point. And here Miller gets it back. Damon Key rejected by Riddick.
Riddick is a great shot blocker in his own right. We talked about McIlvaine being the leading shot blocker in the country. Kentucky's defense has simply not shut off the easy opportunities for Marquette, but that's one of the ways you can shut it off.
Brasso active defensively, and that ball was off Ronnie Eford. That's the 7th Marquette turnover, the second of this half.
Kentucky had one little stretch in the first half where they created a couple of turnovers in succession, but they weren't able to capitalize on the offensive end.
Kevin O'Neal getting ready to send Anthony Pieper into the lineup for Marquette. Here's Ford. This time McIlvaine comes down with the ball, sends it to Miller, who throws it loosely out toward midcourt. Prickett. Oh my goodness. Timeout Marquette. Three threes have propelled Kentucky back into the game. 17-18 remaining in the ball game. Kentucky 1 for 11 from three-point land in the first half. He is 3 of 4 from the perimeter in this half. It's gotten them back in the ball game. They trailed by 9. Here's Miller pressured by Prickett. And Travis Ford comes over to help out defensively. Anthony Pieper for Marquette. Inside now to McIlvaine.
That foul's going to be against Riddick. Miller is just a young man who refuses to give up the basketball. Look at these three white shirts come at him. He's being bounced around in there, but the good step through, the good pivot, and now he makes the open pass. Key does a nice job coming to help him out, but Miller is one tough guy handling the ball against that press.
Andre Riddick picked up his third foul a moment ago.
Kentucky's defense much more aggressive in the second half than we saw for most of the first half.
Back to Miller, off the mark. Riddick with a rebound. Travis Ford guarded by Miller. Brasso, nice pass to Delk underneath. The lead is 7. Tony Delk has 8 points in the second half. McElvain travels.
McElvain did not do a good job giving the ball back to Tony Miller. He needed to let Miller get away from him a little bit so he could throw the pass ahead to Miller, who could catch it while he was moving down the court. And McCaskill's going to come back in the basketball game.
McElvain gets to have a conversation with Kevin O'Neal.
Kentucky still trails in the game, but they've really seized the initiative with their intensity in the first 4 minutes of the second half.
Tony Delk, 8 points in this half. Beeper guards him, and here's Travis Ford. Now Riddick works on McCaskill. Delk, that's for 2.
And Vern, that's what Riddick did not do in the first half. He tried to take the ball in the first half right to the basket, had a couple of shots blocked. That time when the pressure came to him, he got it back outside to Delk for the easy opportunity.
13-3 run now for Kentucky. 42-37. Damon Key, air ball.
I think Prickett got a hand on that, and as soon as Prickett gets out of the band, he'll be back.
With a trombone. Delk. Marquette desperately needs some kind of a stop here.
Marquette got a lot of easy baskets in the first half, and they haven't had any easy baskets in the second half. They had tremendous success going inside. They'd like to get Damon Key re-involved in the offense. He hasn't touched it in the second half.
Here's Key, and when he does, he bobbles it. 7 on the shot clock, off-balance shot. Eford with a putback, no foul call.
Riddick came over the back and made a nice block.
Brasso. Here's Jared Prickett. Ford has it stripped by the quick hands of Tony Miller. Ronnie Eford cannot save it. And he becomes a trombone.
Also, Anthony
This is a great effort by Eford, but this is a bad pass by Miller. You don't want to play run up and down basketball against Kentucky. You only make that pass if you're sure, and Kentucky was back sufficiently well on defense that it was a tough pass, and they just didn't convert it.
In the first half, midway through the first half, Marquette rumbled to an 18-3 run to assume a 17-point lead. In this half, Kentucky has outscored Marquette 13-3. Make it 15-3.
And Delk has been so active on the offensive end. He's been the difference in the second half. Marquette simply can't guard it.
Tony Delk has 12 of his 14 points in this half. Eford lets it go. Kentucky. McElvain gets it. The lead is 3, but it's a precarious 3. Oh, nice pass.
And that's where Marquette needs to go. That's where they dominated in the first half, and Damon Key demanded the ball inside, and when he got it, McElvain cut to the basket very well.
13:24 remaining in the ball game. Roderick Rhodes is back in the lineup now for Kentucky, number 12. Riddick, jump hook, short. McElvain rebound. Little too quick.
Riddick is forcing it inside. He's not going to be successful shooting it over McIlvaine when McIlvaine's in great defensive position.
Damon, what a huge play. What a huge play by a pretty big man.
And then he comes out of there and points at the Marquette fans. Watch this great spin move. Gets two guys up in the air and somehow gets it to go in the basket. Riddick now with 4 personal fouls. What a nice job by Key creating space by just pushing McCarty away with that shoulder. Riddick, I think, let the emotion of the game just getting carried away a little bit. He took a tough shot down on the offensive end and then made a bad play on the defensive end.
Damon Key attempting the three-point play.
Riddick is out. McCarty back in to take his place, and Damon Key. Damon Key for Marquette completes a marvelous three-point play. And what had been a 3-point lead is now back to 8. A 15-3 Kentucky lead opening this half. Led to a comeback that got Kentucky down by 15 at the half within 3 points. Here's McCarty. Another three-pointer for the Wildcats.
There isn't a fellow on that Kentucky roster that can't shoot the three.
47-42. Peepers in the lineup now, number 3 for Marquette. They go underneath to McIlvaine, back to Loggerman, spots up for the 3 and gets it.
Marquette really has recovered nicely from that Kentucky run, and they've recovered by being more patient on offense and getting the ball into the hands of their big guys inside.
McCarty. McIlvaine with another rebound. Miller will run. He's got Loggerman right side. They'll bring it back out.
That's a great decision by Loggerman. You don't want to try to squeeze off the 3. This is where you want to go.
McIlvaine is fouled by Roderick Rhodes.
That's 4 fouls now on Rhodes. Riddick has 4 fouls. And that's what happens when you attack on the inside. Key has shown himself to be very effective shooting the ball in there, but we've seen a couple of really fine passes to McIlvaine. And Rhodes, he had 19 points on Friday.
Now Tony Delk replaces Rod Rhodes, so Riddick and Rhodes, 8 fouls between them. Brasso guards Pieper. No foul called. Travis Ford knocked it. Well, we thought he knocked it off Pieper. He did not. It will be Marquette's ball.
Rick Pitino not particularly happy with the way things are going. You can understand why.
Roderick Rhodes and Andre Riddick remain on the Kentucky bench with 4 fouls. Rick Pitino, Dan, telling us yesterday he really respects experience, and Marquette has experience.
He said the thing he fears most is experienced talent, and I think you saw the experienced talent for Marquette there. The 3 seniors, Loggerman, Key, McIlvaine, and the junior Miller sort of taking control of the game and settling the Warriors down.
That after Kentucky had fought from 17 down to within 3. Here's Pieper, rejected by Walter McCarty. Tony Delk, who's had the hot hand on offense now, has the ball for Kentucky. Tulsa and Oklahoma State now tied, and Boston College continues to lead North Carolina. That's a turnover, Kentucky. Only their 8th.
Rick Pitino's strategy on offense, he's sort of inverted. He's put his guards on the inside and his big guys on the outside to try to take away that tremendous interior defense that Marquette has employed the entire game, but turnover that time.
McIlvaine gets the inbound, looks back for Miller. He can't shake loose, and Delk is all over McIlvaine. Brasso almost takes it away. They're going to have to hurry. They do. And now Miller will slow it down.
And as long as they can get it into the hands of Miller, they're in great shape. Bad pass that time.
Travis Ford gets it. That was the attempted pass for McIlvaine. Didn't get there. 11-10 remaining in the ball game. McCarty. Oh, boy.
And McIlvaine looks tired to me. He wasn't very aggressive going after that pass. He sort of jogged down the court.
Damon Key saves it.
And he walked. Oh, no, there's a foul. They called a foul on Prickett. I knew he was walking out of bounds, but that's the reason why he had some help. That's 3 fouls now on Prickett. And the foul problem's starting to pile up for Rick Pitino's team.
They called it on Travis Ford.
Oh, okay.
But Ford said, wait a minute. He's arguing the call. We thought it was on Prickett. Travis Ford looked at the official and said, me?
Travis Ford is right here with Damon Key, and there he's got his hands on him, and as he falls out of bounds, it's not much contact there, but because he fell out of bounds, Travis Ford gained an advantage by that contact, and so that's why the foul was called.
And Prickett came into the view late. That's why I thought maybe it was Prickett. McCarty, Delp, Prickett, Ford. No. Damon Key, rebound, Marquette.
McCaskill did a nice job stepping out on that screen. McCaskill wants the ball inside.
Guarded by Prickett. Tries to establish his position. Here's Key, skip pass to Loggeman, one-touch pass. Oh, terrific.
But a great block by Riddick. Riddick's got 4 personal fouls, and he continues to go after it, but he walks with the basketball. Not Riddick at all, it's McCarty. But watch McCarty here just stay with it on the block shot. There was great passing by Marquette. Lagerman passing up the 3, back to the top to McCaskill. McCarty just stays with it. That's a great play by McCarty, but Kentucky can't control it, so Marquette will get another chance in a new 35.
Miller will inbound, finds Lagerman. Lagerman, Eford, McCaskill, Key. 7 blocks now for Kentucky. 50-44. 9:50 remaining in the ballgame. Winner goes to Knoxville. Key is stripped to the ball. Foul is called.
Boy, Key is drawing an awful lot of attention down inside. McCaskill doing a great job getting the ball to his teammate inside. It's feeding the ball inside to the post man is sort of a lost art sometime, and McCaskill, another post guy, doing a great job.
He's going to get a rest now. McElvain comes back in the lineup. It's 7-1. Damon Key is at the line. Knoxville the next stop for the winner here. Damon Key gets the first on the 1-1. Purdue and Kansas have already advanced. They will meet next weekend in Knoxville. Actually, they'll meet before the weekend. Must be precise.
Vern, Kentucky has 17 fouls in this half. Marquette has 0. So Kentucky trying to pick up the tempo defensively, but they have committed some fouls. Great steal.
Ronnie Eford. Miller, 52-44, has Marquette weathered the storm. At least for the moment, they appear to have.
There'll be more storms.
Oh, another dandy pass. What a terrific pass by McElvain.
The post guys do a great job passing the ball to one another. Bounce passes, lob passes. Kentucky gets the timeout. When Marquette has gotten the ball inside, they've had tremendous success.
Boy, is the action heating up everywhere. Jim Nance, Clark Kellogg, Billy Packer. Let's look around. First, Oklahoma City. Oklahoma State's led by as many as 13. Tulsa came back to grab a 2-point lead. They're now tied 66 all with 6:36 to go.
Big Country is doing big work. At last count, 27 for the big fella, and he'll be huge down the stretch.
Here we go. There's Oak State taking a 2-pop lead with that jumper.
Terry Collins knocked that one down.
Meanwhile, out in Sacramento, that's Arizona and Khalid Reeves. They had a big run right before the end of the half, a 21-2 run against Virginia, and they now lead by 10 first seconds of the second half. And while Kentucky is down 7, North Carolina is down 2 in the East. Boston College is led by as many as 14 in the second half. They're in a timeout there with 12 minutes to go. We'll keep you posted on these games. Right now, let's shift it back. Marquette now 9 up on the Wildcats. Let's go back to Vern and Dan.
56-47. Largest lead of the game was 17 just before halftime. Marquette had that. Kentucky came back to within 3. Here's Ford. That's for 3.
And that's a big part of the Kentucky offense, particularly when they're trying to make a comeback. They can trade you those 3s for 2.
Travis Ford is 2 of 4 from three-point range. He'll penetrate this time. Back out to Delp. Another one.
Sometimes they'll trade you 6 for 2.
Timeout, Marquette. There's another storm. Marquette's largest lead was 18 points. Rhodes and Riddick both playing with 4 fouls. Delk has 20 points, and there's a way to get on television.
Did you think they get any money that way? Kentucky has scored 15 points after Marquette turnovers in the second half. And it's the tremendous defensive effort which has really keyed this Kentucky comeback.
Lead is 3. Another turnover. That's the 10th turnover in this half for Marquette. And thus far, the Wildcats have scored 15 points off those turnovers. They don't get one here, but Eifert tries to save it and can't.
Eifert wants to know why the referee didn't get out of the way. Eifert steps on the line right there. Wrecks the table, hits the referee in the head.
Now there goes the bunting.
He did everything but save the basketball.
Ford, no good. McCarty with a rebound, back to Travis Ford. Gets a pick from Prickett. That's dangerous to say. Here's Rhodes.
And Eifert's going to get the personal foul. McIlvaine did a great job disrupting the shot. It was an air ball.
That, however, is the first foul against Marquette in this half. And as we look toward the final 6 minutes and 40 seconds, foul shooting might determine the outcome. Boston College, North Carolina now tied. Prickett misses the first. Arizona leading by 10 out west. Winner of that game goes to Los Angeles. 1 of 2 for Jared Prickett. The lead is 2. This is as close as Kentucky has been since they trailed 11-9. Oh, boy. Tony Miller.
What a game he's had.
Right side. Foul on Damon Key. He was trying to get position on McCarty and knocked him over the end line.
Even though Miller did a great job beating the press and scoring that basket, Kentucky has been able to create an up-and-down game in the second half. Miller just beats the press and takes it right over Prickett, but Kentucky always attacking, gets the ball down the court quickly, and as a result, Marquette isn't able to set the defense.
Kentucky has hit 7 threes in this half. Here's Prickett, too strong. And they're going to get McCarty, Riddick, and that's it. 5 fouls on Andre Riddick.
You know, Vern, when Kentucky has stayed on the perimeter, they've been super in the second half, but when they take the ball inside and allow McIlvaine or McCaskill or Key to be a factor defensively, they have not played very well.
Andre Riddick had a career high of 22 points in the first round win. He leaves the game this afternoon with a total of 8. 9 rebounds and 3 blocks.
And now the free throw shooting that you were speaking about, Vern, I think really comes into play right here.
Ronnie Eford. Missed it. 58-54. 6 minutes to go. Winner goes to Knoxville. Rhodes is playing with 4 fouls. Here's Tony Delk. That's going to be basket interference. And impatient Rod Rhodes.
I think that ball was going in anyway. Watch McIlvaine come here and pressure the shot. He gets in good position to rebound, but he just touches the ball. I guess it was coming out, and you're right, Vern. He just got up there and couldn't resist the temptation to touch it.
McIlvaine takes it, gives it off to Miller. Here comes Marquette, 3-on-2. Kicks it out to Damon Key. Nailed it. The lead back to 6. Roderick Rhodes, short. Loggerman, right to Prickett. Travis Ford works his way in. Short again. Foul on McIlvaine.
What a great sequence. And McIlvaine was in the center of the whole thing. McIlvaine really disrupting shot opportunities inside. He actually blocked that one, and Delk, who's had a big second half, is able to control it. But McIlvaine, you can see what kind of a presence he's been all season long. In the last 3 or 4 minutes, he's really asserted himself on the inside.
Tony Delk's second free throw.
With Riddick sitting on the bench, he's fouled out of the game.
Damon Key comes back to help Miller. Guarded by Jamel Martinez. Here's McIlvaine at the other end. Loggerman will bring it back out. Underneath. Oh, quick foul, and Ford has picked up his 4th.
That's just great passing by Marquette. They pass the ball so well. And I guess when you have guys on the inside like McIlvaine and Key, it is much to your advantage to be able to get the ball to people in the post. And Marquette doing as good a job as I've seen all year today, getting the ball to the guys on the inside.
Kevin O'Neill shouting out instructions as Jim McIlvaine, for the season, a 67% free throw shooter, misses the first of 2.
Kevin O'Neill offering encouragement.
Marquette, 10 of 16 from the line. Now 11 of 17 with a 6-point lead and 5:05 remaining. Kicked by Prickett. I'll test fate once again by saying that. $15 on the shot clock. Eford on Ford. Off the screen, no good. Chased down by Marquette's Tony Miller.
And McIlvaine once again comes out and bothers the shot.
How about the move by Miller to get through the traffic? Eford has Loggerman over here. Brings it back on top.
That's the man he's looking for, and you can understand why.
Damon Key. Brasso goes back to help defensively. Back inside the Key over Prickett. No. The tip and a foul is called, I believe, on Tony Delk.
Here's Tony Miller. He's got the ball down on the baseline. Now he's going to go through 3 guys here. He gets past everybody until Travis Ford finally stops him. That's how Marquette has broken the pressure, and that is the most important key to this basketball game thus far.
Ronnie Eford now on the 10th foul will shoot 2. Ronnie Eford, a sophomore from Queens, New York. They're 11 of 18 from the free throw line now. Michigan State and Duke play later this afternoon. Winner of this game goes to Knoxville, as does the winner of the second game. One of two. The lead is 7, 4:13 remaining in the game. Once this half, Kentucky's gotten to within 2.
Man-to-man defense.
That means Miller on 4, Delk over a flying McElvain, and Miller chases it down. It goes off here. Oh, no! Phil Bova says it hit Prickett, and it's going to be Marquette's ball.
One of the keys to the last 4 or 5 minutes has been the 7'1" McElvain running at the three-point shooters. Now that has left Marquette vulnerable inside to the offensive rebounds, but they haven't paid the price for it yet. The three-point shot is not easy to shoot over a 7'1" guy.
Here's the 7'1" guy getting the ball and being fouled by Tony Delk. That's Delk's second foul. And of course, Marquette well in the bonus.
Now the Kentucky strategy at this point in the basketball game, they're applying the defensive pressure. If they get called for the foul, okay, Marquette's going to go down. The best Marquette's going to do is make 2, and Kentucky, with 3:54 left in the game, has plenty of time to come up and get 3.
McElvain 1 of 2 for the day. And as a team, Marquette is 12 of 19. Well, they keep going 1 of 2 from the line.
But Kentucky hasn't been scoring. The defense for Marquette has been outstanding. Kentucky's going to go to the three-point offense.
Brasso, no. Miller with a rebound.
You commit those fouls, you can trade 2 for 3, but you got to make 3.
Loose ball, Miller lost it. But it's out of bounds off McCarty. Marquette will have it.
Bouncing the Warriors' way right at the moment. It's only fair with as hard as Miller has played. McCarty just gets his hand on it. Had McCarty not touched the basketball, it's Kentucky's ball. One of the few times today that Miller hasn't handled it effectively against the pressure. Kentucky has missed its last 7 three-point opportunities, but as we said, one of the reasons that Rick Pitino's club has struggled is Jim McElvain is running at those threes.
Now Marquette getting ready to inbound as soon as we've got things cleaned up and the conversation ends.
Well, I think the discussion is whether or not there should be 28 or 35 left on the shot clock.
The decision is 28.
And that's the correct.
3:34 remaining in regulation. Here's McElvain. Delk is all over it. Tipped away by McCarty.
And Rick Pitino is telling McCarty, he's pointing right at number 10, Tony Miller, saying, do not let him catch the basketball. Rick Pitino would love to see McElvain dribble it up the court.
McElvain has it now, back to Eford. 63-55. Lochterman for 3. Rebound, Delk. And here comes Travis Ford in Kentucky. They spot up for the 3. 0 for their last 8. Martinez strong, and it's saved by Lochterman. The senior from Janesville, Wisconsin, has the ball back to Miller. Under 3 minutes. Damon Key. Yes! Back to a double-digit lead for the Warriors. Travis Ford. Kentucky ball.
Rob Lochterman just takes the ball away from Martinez, and as he's falling down, finds the teammate. And now watch this big guy inside with that spin move, the fall-away jumper. Damon Key, outstanding, then falls on top of the photographers. Get out of the way, guys. That's a big load coming at you.
Lead is 10, 2:34 remaining. Brasso will inbound for Kentucky. McCarty, no. 0 for 9.
And McElvain is running at every one of those.
Kentucky was 1 of 11 in the first half. Here's Key. No basket. Foul before the basket. The foul is on Tony Delk.
That's a great foul by Delk because Key was going to score the basket. But what a pass down the court. Eford taking that ball and just winging it. These Marquette players look like they're running on fumes at the moment. They have been so intense the entire basketball game. Eford just gets the hook pass. Now watch this spin move again. This guy is so great with his spin moves to the basket. Now Miller's trying to come back in, and he's...
They're checking whether it's he's allowed to get back in the game, and the rule is yes.
I didn't see them take him out. I guess that's a good idea to take him out.
4:21 now without a field goal.
I didn't see Kevin O'Neal get Miller out for a couple of seconds, but it was a great substitution. Just let that young man catch his breath.
14 of 22 from the free throw line now. There finally is Brasso with a three-pointer.
They finally get it over McElvain.
Miller to Eford. Pulls it back out to Miller. Under 2 minutes remaining.
Now you don't want to get passive in the offense. There's the foul by Brasso, but I think Marquette is confident that if they hold the basketball, they're going to get fouled. They just have to make the free throws, and Miller sort of dragging himself down to the defensive end of the court.
Tony Miller has played just with extraordinary skill today. You don't see it on the score sheet, but penetration, getting the ball across the timeline, defensive job he's done. Ronnie Eford. How anxious is Ronnie Eford to play? Here's team fouls 13-3. Look at that. And the possession arrow of Kentucky. Kevin O'Neal was telling us that 6 times in his career, Ronnie Eford has tried to put himself back in the lineup.
Snuck behind Kevin O'Neal to get to the scores table. He's been successful twice. Doesn't have to sneak in there today, though.
Delk. Travis Ford. Rims out. McElvain held ball, possession arrow, Kentucky. What a struggle it's been for the Wildcats, who fell behind by 17 in the first half. They cut it to as few as 2, 56-54, and then went dry from three-point range. Here's Travis Ford. Air ball, tired legs. Kentucky ball, 97 seconds left.
Tired legs, and again, a 7'1" guy out there. I can't believe McElvain, how often and well he runs at those shots.
Ford. 93 seconds remaining in this ball game, and Marquette, which was led since taking a 9-7 edge early in the game, hangs on right now to a 10-point margin. The number 6-seeded Marquette Warriors trying to knock off the 3rd-seeded Kentucky Wildcats. Brickett with a basket. 1:27 remaining, and the lead is down to 8. Miller gets it into McElvain. It's stolen by Brickett, and there's a foul called on Marquette.
But that's only team foul number 4 against Marquette, so unless they rule that foul to be in the act of shooting, there will be no shot.
The foul is on McElvain. It's his 4th. Kevin O'Neal, 37-year-old head coach of Marquette. Oh, stolen by Miller. Here comes Tony Miller. He'll bring it back outside. Saved by Lunkman. Foul by Delk. That's 4 fouls on Tony Delk.
And Rick Pitino throws himself down in his chair on the bench. He can't believe that there was a foul called on that play. His team's defensive aggressiveness really picking up the last couple of minutes. But the fouls have added up, and Marquette has had opportunities from the free throw line for about the last 5 minutes.
Rob Loggerman goes to the free throw line. of 25 from the free throw line. Here's Pitino on the foul call a moment ago. A decided advantage for the Marquette Warriors at the free throw line. Kentucky has tried only 10. Here's the three-point effort that is short. Loggerman can't save it. It'll be Kentucky's ball.
How is it that every time Kentucky shoots a three, McIlvain is right in front of them? You know, McIlvain must be the quickest guy on the court. He's getting to every three-point shot they take.
Marquette leading by 10 with 1:02 remaining. Brasso. At one stretch, Kentucky hit 7-11 from three, but boy, they've had problems since then. Efert, whose ball? Marquette ball. That's 12 Kentucky turnovers.
And Tony Miller, who's been the key to this basketball game, wipes his hands with the towel under the basket. He's going to inbound the ball, and Kentucky's going to do everything they can to keep it away from him, keep him from getting it back.
Miller finds McIlvain. Back to Miller. Loggerman. The last time Marquette won a second-round game in the NCAA, they also won the national championship. 1977 in Atlanta. Al McGuire was the coach.
And they can feel it now. 35.8 seconds left.
And Travis Ford has fouled out. A statistical contrast for you in this game. Marquette at the free throw line, 18 of 27. Kentucky 6 of 10. And the Wildcats are 9 of 35 from three-point range. Seconds left. Winner goes to Knoxville, where they will take on either Michigan State or Duke. There was a lot of quiet conversation in St. Petersburg yesterday about a rematch of Duke and Kentucky in Knoxville and a replay of the '92 Classic. Doesn't appear it will happen.
No, and I guess you can say that Kevin O'Neill and the Marquette Warriors are all the way back.
In his 5th year, a 3-year assistant to Lute Olson at Arizona. Lute Olson said of Kevin O'Neill, he's the best assistant coach I ever had. And for Kentucky, what might have been.
That's Jeff Brasso over there. He's ending his career at Kentucky.
Point lead. The Wildcats got to within 2 in this half. Here's Prickett from three-point range. Loggerman is fouled by Shepard. The Kentucky season will end with a 27-7 record. The Marquette Warriors, and by the way, that nickname will be changed at the end of this year. Increased their record to 24-8, most wins since the '82 team. Loggerman gets the first. Here's Anthony Epps. Miller has had a terrific ball game for Marquette. Delp got it. That's from 3. He's got 24 points. But just over 10 seconds left. Here's Larchman and Epps.
Miller continues to make great decisions. This basketball game is over. The Kentucky bench knows it's over. You can see the storied history of Kentucky basketball. Perfect indication.
All right, in the last hour, spring has officially arrived. So have 2 Cinderellas. Tulsa and Marquette, maybe even a third out in Landover. Greg Gumbel, Bill Raftery.
He will go to the free throw line. Does he want the basketball? Jimmy O'Brien, it's been guard-oriented.